Welcome to Anchorage. We're here, and it's kind of amazing. If you see, it's past midnight. It's about 12:30 a.m. There's people walking around in the streets. You see the sky is very light. It's really just beginning to get dark. So we're just at dusk now. There will actually be, this is June 15th, there will actually be only 2 hours of darkness tonight, and then it'll be light again. So this is like the land of the endless sun. Pretty amazing. So what happens is people kind of lose sense of time when this happens, and they're just out at the shops. Almost every business is open till 9 p.m. It's pretty amazing. I wanted to share with you kind of along these lines. When you think of endless, you think of endless work, you think of endless labor. And out of 1 Timothy chapter 4, you got this statement where Paul is talking to Timothy, and he says, take pains with these things. So he's talking about the ministry that Timothy is doing. He says, take pain with these things and be absorbed in them. Be absorbed in them. So he's saying to Timothy, this ministry of yours ought to absorb you completely. It's a work ethic that Paul had, and he's passing on to Timothy. He goes on to say, persevere in these things. It's pretty cool because you know what? These are not typical words that you hear in church. Work ethic, laboring for the Lord with everything, something that completely absorbs you. You don't hear this stuff, but Paul had this kind of work ethic. And really, when you look at it, throughout the scriptures, you got every move of God, there was work involved. When they built the tabernacle with Moses, there was work involved. When Josiah had his revival, Hezekiah, Nehemiah, and Ezra, they had work going on. So kind of a symbol of a move of God in the earth is people coming together, and they work and they labor, they gather, and that's a symbol. In fact, Paul told Timothy, do these things, be absorbed in them, so everybody can see them, so they can see the progress. So it has to be tangible. It's not just an inner life, it's also an external life where everybody can see the progress that's being made by these gathered people who are having a move of God. Jesus told these guys, go out into the world, preach the gospel to every creature. It's pretty amazing what he laid down for them. Make disciples of all the nations. I mean, right at that point, boom, their agenda, their schedule for life was laid out for them. And not only that, for those that they were training for the next generation and the next generation, their work was cut out for them. It's kind of interesting talking to some people around here. They say that Native Alaskans have a different sense of time than Westerners. They don't have an hourly sense of time. If you say, show up at dinner at such and such time, they're not necessarily going to do that. They work with the idea of seasons. So when you have a season, for instance, it's a salmon season, then they are involved in the season. Whatever that season takes to do, whatever time you got to get up, that's what they do. If it's caribou season, if it's garden planting season, Native Alaskans, they just run with the season, whatever the season means for their time schedule. And we got to be sensitive to that also spiritually. There's seasons in God, and we got to know when there's a season upon us exactly what we need to be doing. And that's what we have for you tonight from Anchorage. Thanks.